As a wheelchair user, you learn pretty quickly that all wheelchairs are not created equal. They come in all different sizes, shapes, and prices. I used to fantasize about the perfect wheelchair, but as time went on, I've come to wonder, does the perfect wheelchair actually exist? To answer that question, I'm gonna take you on a tour of my brand new wheelchair with all the options I ever wanted. Some people think in order to get the perfect wheelchair, you have to add a bunch of options. For me personally, I think the perfect wheelchair is when you can remove as much as possible and only keeping the things absolutely necessary for my daily life. You might think you want those armrests or luggage holders, but truth be told, those things can get in the way and make your wheelchair even heavier. I prefer a lightweight, agile, universal design that looks good with any outfit. The reason why I choose a raw titanium look is because I'm really rough on my chairs. As you guys know, I'm super active, majorly independent, and I bang these things up hard. If you have a chair with color, even if it's black, it can get scraped and scratched and look just old and beat up even if it's not. In a previous video, you guys saw me fly to San Diego, pick out my Hands-On Concepts wheelchair, and get it built in 1 week. Hands-On Concepts build quality is one of the things that attracted me the most. I'm a person who has a history in welding and in fabrication, and the second I saw the quality of their builds, especially their welds, I could immediately judge the quality of their entire build. And truth be told, I can get real judgy when I see a chair with bad welds. To me, it shows that the fabricators just don't care as much. My first custom wheelchair, I picked out a black one because I thought it'd be all sleek and stealthy, but truth be told, it showed the most blemishes because every time it got scratched, scraped, dented, or dings, it just showed a big chunk of silver from all the metal underneath the paint. So now I go with a combination of black and titanium. So if anything has the ability to get scratched, I choose titanium, and if it doesn't have the ability to get scratched, I choose carbon fiber. So I like to roll on a 4" by 1.5" hard roll caster. And the reason I like to do that is because I like to go downhill fast. And if you have a big caster, they start to wobble real bad. They'll go brrrr and just vibrate you to death, and it gets really scary and really sketchy. Some of the soft roll casters are good for comfortability, but I really like toughness, because if you have a soft roll caster and you hit a chunk of gravel, a chunk of that rubber will just rip right off, and how annoying is to be pushing and just feel no thank you. On my very first wheelchair, I chose a 2-sided fork, and I really regretted it. The reason why I'm not a big fan of the 2-sided fork is because it makes your wheelchair just a little bit extra wider, and you tend to smash into door frames or anything else that is close to the outside of your wheelchair. I personally like the mono fork because what that does is that makes your wheels just a little bit skinnier, and then the outside is your actual wheel and not the part of a fork. One thing that I personally like a lot in a wheelchair is a calf strap. A lot of people don't like it, a lot of people have to have it. I'm one of the people that has to have it. This particular chair, compared to my previous chair, has special mounts to keep the calf strap in place, and instead of it slipping up and down every now and then, it stays exactly where I want it, and I think it looks a little bit cooler too. On my first chair, I had a completely flat foot plate that I eventually had to put some skateboard grip tape on top of because my feet were just sliding around. On my second chair, I went with no foot plate. Not exactly sure why I did that, but it just has like one little bar with no plate on top of it. It worked out pretty decently, but again, my feet were slipping and sliding all over the place. My new Hands-On Concepts wheelchair has a carbon fiber plate on top of the titanium, and it's sized a little bit bigger than an industry standard. That's something that Hands-On Concepts offers you. You have the ability to go a little bit bigger than what's usually readily available. I typically wear the same shoe, which is just a basic Vans, but with the bigger foot plate, I have the ability to put on bigger shoes, like dress shoes or athletic shoes if I want. So before I even had a Hands-On Concepts wheelchair, I had some of their wheel locks called D's locks. I don't have to worry about busting my thumb, and I don't have to worry about the scissor locks coming loose all the time. D's locks is a single lever that puts 2 little pistons into the wheel so it locks it into place. Like I mentioned in the previous video, my only criticism is when the wheels are locked, there's still just a little bit of wobble, but to have all the other benefits, that's something I'm willing to have. I actually know a few people that don't even run any brakes at all, which if you're a new person, you might be going, what the heck? I need my brakes to transfer, I need my brakes to load my chair in and out of my car, but truth be told, over time, you start to need them less and less and less. So the reason why I'm okay with a little bit of wobble in the D's locks is because whenever I'm just in a situation where I need to sit still, but I need to have both my hands off the wheels, I can just flip the switch real quick and just chill. On all my wheelchairs, I've chosen a 0 camber. And what that means is that my wheels are set up perfectly side by side at a 90 degrees. Some people like to choose a 1 degree, 2 degree, or 3 degree camber because they feel like they're more stable. But for me personally, I like a tight, compact, sleek wheelchair. And when you add camber, you're adding width to your chair. I've been rocking 90 degrees for over 10 years now, and I've never tipped sideways. If you're playing sports, I recommend getting your own custom sports wheelchair instead of putting a big camber on your everyday chair. For the same reason that I keep my wheelchair color a raw titanium, I keep my push rims raw titanium as well. Push rims are the part of your wheelchair that get banged and beaten the most. And you don't want to have black push rims that have all these cuts and scrapes and scuffs and marks and dents and dings. It's just like if you were to have a regular car with black wheels, but you just curb rash them all the time. Bruh. It's a lot better to have a neutral color push rim, so when you inevitably smash into a door frame, a curb cut, a sidewalk, loading it in and out of your car, you don't have to freak out and go, oh no, my brand new wheelchair's got a big old scratch on it, because you can't even see it. Hands-On Concepts was one of the first companies I'd ever seen to have a carbon fiber seat pan. The reason why that's absolutely epic is because anyone who's ever used a wheelchair for more than a couple of years knows that that cloth starts to sag. And when that cloth starts to sag, your center of gravity changes, your balance changes, and the whole feel of the chair changes. The only downfall to having a carbon fiber bottom is if you are a person that takes your cushion off after you shower and transfers into your wheelchair, it can be real slippery as opposed to having a cloth bottom, which isn't as slippery. The solution to this, just put a towel on your chair, you'll be okay. Another unique feature of a Hands-On Concepts wheelchair is they have clothing guards with a titanium rail over top of it. This is a huge seller for me. I absolutely have to have clothing guards. They're one of my most favorite features available on any wheelchair. My first one was completely plastic and would fall off all the time. My second wheelchair was made of carbon fiber plastic and would bend and flop and just would fall out, and I had to like wrench it in real tight. These clothing guards are actually a part of the wheelchair and not just an accessory that was thrown on as an afterthought. They can custom fabricate them to fit the exact diameter of your wheel, so if you're pushing around in the dirt, the snow, or the wet, your clothes are gonna be just fine. Upgraded, rigid carbon fiber backs. Are they worth it? To me, yes. My first wheelchair, I had a cloth back, and over a period of time, it started to get real saggy and real stretchy, just like the seat pan. I started to sink back into it, and then eventually the tops tore off, and I was like, wow, I hate this. The second I got a rigid carbon fiber back, the more comfortable I felt in my wheelchair, the more secure I felt, and the more snug I felt. I felt I could lean back, pop wheelies, go off-road. It is an upgrade, and a lot of people don't like to get it at first, and that's okay. Get the cloth option, it's usually free. If you don't like the cloth option, you can always move forward and get an upgraded version. I knew what I liked, so that's why I went with the carbon fiber. Every wheelchair usually comes with a foldable back, so when you're loading your wheelchair in and out of your vehicle, you can make it as small and compact as possible. Since I have the ability to stand and walk, and I just throw my chair into the back of my truck and waddle my way to the front, I personally like to keep that thing in place all the time. I think there's no need to have any extra adjustability. My first wheelchair I had did have the adjustability option, and it was okay, I guess. I never moved it. As soon as I found the exact position that I wanted, I left it there. So why would I not choose to make it permanently in its place? And finally, the bar that you see at the very back, I chose to make that as low as possible. And the reason why is I use a shoulder bag to carry around with me everywhere I go. If it was high, my bag would get caught on that rail and it would just be so annoying. So, does the perfect wheelchair exist? Really? No, it doesn't, because it has to fit your lifestyle. I live in the city. I'm mainly on concrete, asphalt, sidewalks, wood. I don't have to worry about gravel, dirt, mud. If I lived in the country, no, this wheelchair would be terrible. But for me, this wheelchair is awesome. A perfect wheelchair would be an invisible one that's completely lightweight, that's automatically powered, that zooms you around everywhere, that could stand, that could have suspension. Come on, it's not a fantasy world. My previous wheelchair was a good wheelchair. I beat the hell out of it for over 3 years, and it withstood a lot of my brutality. But this particular wheelchair is special because to most people, it's just a little incremental upgrade. I've asked a few of my friends, hey, what do you think of my new wheelchair? And they go, it's a new wheelchair? Because they don't understand the subtleties. So I've been rolling around on this thing for about a month now, and I'm just absolutely stoked on it. It's tough, it's rigid, it doesn't have any clicks or squeaks or any of that new weird adjustment where you have to constantly keep tinkering with it. My previous wheelchair I tinkered with for easily 3 months. I'd roll around for a week or two and be like, I don't like that, let me change it. This wheelchair, I've made 2 minor adjustments. I've moved the foot plate about a 1/2 inch, and I've moved the backrest about a 1/2 inch. And for those of you guys that are experienced wheelchair users, you know that that is insane. I can't speak highly enough of Hands-On Concepts. They'll talk to you on the phone, they'll even get you fitted inside their shop. They can custom fabricate anything for you. Now, I'm sure with some limitations, they're probably not gonna sculpt the dragon on the back of your wheelchairs, but you have the full customizability if you have the desire. Special thanks to Steve and Eric at Hands-On Concepts for shutting down the shop for an entire day, letting us film and get me custom fitted for a wheelchair. They went above and beyond, and the build quality, I've said it like 5 times. I mean, it was wild. And just a friendly reminder, like I stated in my previous video, Hands-On Concepts wheelchairs are for seasoned wheelchair users that know exactly what they want. If you ask them, what do you think? They're probably gonna say, I think you should go to a seating clinic and get fitted there, because this is not for newbies. However, if you are a new wheelchair user and you're thinking, ooh, come on, I gotta get me a Hands-On Concepts wheelchair, give them a call, talk to them. This video was shot in November of 2019, and they told me they're currently working on building adjustable chairs. So maybe if you're seeing this video in the future, they have those adjustable chairs built. And adjustable chairs are more friendly to new users. And to wrap things up, yo, this wheelchair is dope. It is absolutely exactly what I wanted. This wheelchair is gonna last me forever, and I'm gonna bang it to hell and back, just like I banged my last chair. And I'm excited to see how long it lasts. Personally, I've never seen an in-depth review like this about wheelchairs on YouTube anywhere. So if you've got some value from this, please be sure to jump on my Patreon and support me there so I can continue to make videos just like this. Be sure to like, subscribe, and check out our new podcast linked below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.